This is Sceoan Windstorm S1, 3D printer that costs a little bit less than 400 euros, can print at 500 millimeters per second speed, and we're gonna talk about why the name Windstorm is a little bit ironic, as it has some little issues with wind. The printer is completely wireless. No, you cannot connect it through the Wi-Fi and print. To print with this printer, you will have to use the either SD card or USB stick. It literally doesn't have any wires on the outside of the printer. And that's one of the key features, which makes it a little bit of unique. The printer has absolutely fantastic LCD touchscreen, probably the best I have ever seen. It's super fast, super responsive, super accurate, and it's easy to use. It also boasts a bunch of features like even the terminal to send the commands to your printer if you cannot connect it to some sort of software. It also has a bunch of different settings which in some cases does nothing. For example, LED color would be nice to adjust LED color, but there is an issue. There are no LEDs on this printer. You can save, restore EEPROMs and do lots of other things. For example, set UART speeds for Wi-Fi, which printer doesn't have. Therefore, it looks like the creators of this machine have more ideas that they managed to implement before releasing this printer. Will there come updates? I have no idea. In case you need to get access to some electronics like the motherboard, you just need to take out 2 screws and then take it out as a drawer, and then you have full access right here. It's nice to see that both print bed and print head sit on linear rails. That is probably the most stable way of fixing the print head and the print bed to the frame. The print bed is also nicely recessed and flat with the surface here. Just be cautious when you install the removable PEI magnetic sheet. If you install it sideways, you can easily scratch the machine. Ask me how I know that. The bed adhesion is fantastic. All of the prints stick really well, stay during the print, and then are easy to remove when it cools down. Direct drive extruder is mounted inside the print head, and it's super easy to load and unload filaments. It also has the auto leveling switch, so you don't have to level the bed yourself. The printer does that for you. The hot end can be heated to 260 degrees, which is fine for most of the materials. Anyways, if you want to print hotter things, you probably need a printer with enclosure. Actually, as there are no cables or wires outside, it shouldn't be too difficult to build an enclosure if you need one, but it would be a shame to cover such a beautiful printer with custom-made enclosures.
I think the most important thing when I review 3D printer is to talk about the print quality. So the large streaks or lines that you see on the side right here, I'm pretty sure this is the result of the direction in which printer is printing. So that's more or less a slicing issue, same as on this black Buddha. And while it's super easy in the slicer to make sure that printer only rotates in the same direction and fix this issue, it's way more harder to fix things like ringing or ghosting, which as you can see there is quite a lot of going on here. And I can hear some of you screaming in the comments, yeah, but that happens with all fast 3D printers. Therefore, I immediately printed a second one on a similar 3D printer that has input shaping, which Sceoan Windstorm S1 doesn't. And I think it's pretty easy to see that the print quality differs quite a lot from one brand printer to another. So one problem is ghosting, but the second problem is cooling, like the under chin of the Buddha or the ears of the devil.
So the problem is that there are no cooling ducts. There is a fan in the back right there,
which is blowing the wind apparently everywhere, including the hot end itself. If you compare this to other manufacturers' solution for the fast printers, they have triple ducts to cool the printed part and not cool the hot end itself. So if you try to push the speed limits and print a benchy in like this one 19 minutes, you can see there is a lot of issues that you will see in the print quality. However, if we slow things a little bit down, the benchy you see right now has been printed in 25 minutes. The quality came out pretty good. So I decided to take a task and try to design a cooling duct, and have in mind that I never designed myself a single cooling duct, so I took inspiration from other things on Thingiverse and spent a couple hours. It was not perfect, it needed some scotch because I didn't want to invest more time. But even with this vaguely designed first prototype of the cooling duct, the 19-minute benchy as of a sudden looked much better.
Again, looking from underneath, the original part has a bit messier bridge than this one. It has much cleaner.
All in all, I think if someone would take time and design a good fan duct, you could get really good results even on full speed. Meanwhile, if you slow down the speeds a bit, the printer can print overhangs in decent quality. So it's not the end of the world, it's just not being able to utilize that full speed, as I mentioned, because of the fan and also the ghosting or ringing. Every fast printer needs a lot of cooling, which means a lot of sound, so it's no surprise that it's quite a loud printer. Going to manufacturer's website, I found an article published just a few days ago where they say that engineers have designed the new STL file for the air duct and that it will be published soon. So I'm very much looking forwards, and I hope that this will improve the cooling issues dramatically.
Most 500mm per second 3D printers today run Clipper, and this one does not. It runs Marlin. And that means that you can use the super old and super nice cable and connect to the printer with your Octoprint or any other printer controlling and monitoring software, which for me is a huge upside for this printer because that allows me to easily capture time lapses and also adjust settings on the go.
In case that's the first 3D printer you are assembling, you will be excited to know that the assembly is just putting two parts together and putting in two screws. That's it. It's as easy as it can be. Basically, for 400 euros, you can snag a top-notch 3D printer made of sleek aluminum running on Marlin. It's compatible with Octoprint, zips through benchy prints in just 19 minutes, and nails those initial layers thanks to auto-leveling and a high-quality PAI sheet. However, it doesn't have direct Wi-Fi connection, LED lights, or an enclosure. And there are some cooling problems the manufacturer vows to fix soon.
All in all, leave your opinions down in the comments below, and I see you in the next one.